Back to another video. Hope this video is worth the 3-week wait. But today we are going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Nickelodeon shows. So coming in at number 10, Invader Zim. Many of you guys are going to disagree with me and be like, this should be higher on the list. None of these are ordered by anything except for number one. Number one is going to be my favorite. Invader Zim was a brilliant show. I saw the first season and the Netflix movie, and what I've seen so far is amazing. I own it on DVD. Enter the Florpus needs a DVD. I wish it got a third season, and I love watching the new reruns that have been on TV lately. It's just a masterpiece. It's a very creative show, and I love it. And that's all I could say about it. The comedy and the gross-out humor. It was meant for older kids, but it was a great show. Coming in at number 9 is the Rugrats. This is one of the first Nicktoons, and it's one of the most creative. It ran for so long, and I love just seeing the babies' adventures. And they were supposed to do a CGI movie reboot, but sadly that got canceled after the designs of the Sonic movie. But the good news is season 10 is supposed to be happening this fall 2020 or winter 2021 as the time of this recording. So I'm really excited for that. And I love the Christmas specials, and it's such a nostalgic show for many. I didn't grow up with it, but it's such a great show, and I love Chucky and Tommy, and I just love all the babies. It's a great adventure, and I think little kids and older kids enjoy it because it's just so funny and creative. And coming in at number 8 is Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom is a brilliant show. Not in my top 5, but it's still a pretty good show. I've always liked the premise of Danny Phantom. The story plots are good, and it has a lot of good continuity, and it had a lot of specials, and it had a really big fan base, and Butch Hartman made a video if he's going to bring it back, and the answer was maybe, but you never know. I would love to see an animated movie or something. But it was a great show, so creative. Butch Hartman, you did a great job. I like a lot of your shows, and thank you for making this show. It's just so adventurous, and I own this on DVD too. Yeah, I wish they could make like a Netflix movie or something, or Danny Phantom 10 years later. I love that artwork that Butch Hartman made too. So yeah, I love Danny Phantom. And at number 7 is Hey Arnold. This is just a brilliant show, and it's a shame that it got canceled. It did get the Jungle movie finally came out. I just love it because it's like so emotional sometimes, and Arnold is so nice, and it teaches people to be nice, and it's just a really cool show. I like it. It's a great show. So yeah, go check out Hey Arnold. I want to get that on DVD really bad. I have the first movie on DVD, and I want to get the Jungle movie in the complete series, but I don't think I'm going to get it quite yet, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be talking about this because I just love Hey Arnold. Arguably one of the best 90s Nickelodeon shows, and it's one of my favorites. It's basically just a classic, and I love Arnold's bedroom, and I love Arnold's personality, and the pig, and all of the large cast of characters, and Helga's love for Arnold, and yeah, I just love it. At number 6 is the Fairly Odd Parents. I love the Fairly Odd Parents. Such a great show. Yeah, I love Timmy's big imagination, the big cast of characters. Butch Hartman does an amazing job with the shows. I love the creativity behind the show. It's just so amazing. I own a lot of it on DVD. I have a big collection. of Fairly Odd Parents DVDs. I'm going to show that in a different video. I just love the large cast of characters and the big adventures that Timmy goes on. And it's too bad it got canceled. I wish it got a proper ending. But the first 8 seasons were like a masterpiece. And then season 9 and 10, they were okay. I didn't like Chloe, but I did like Chloe. Didn't not like Chloe. She was okay, and so was Sparky. I just thought Sparky was kind of funny, but, so yeah, we'll talk about that in a different video maybe, but I just love The Fairly Odd Parents, one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. Actually, now that I think of it, I should have put this way higher on, like, number 2. Coming in at number 5 is Drake and Josh and iCarly. Drake and Josh is a wonderful show. I love its humor, and they're talking about doing a reboot, and I would love to see a reboot. And also on this list is Zoe 101, and Zoe 101 I would like to see a reboot too, and I just love how all of Dan Schneider's shows are connected. Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, and lastly, iCarly. iCarly is a wonderful show, not as good as Zoe 101 and Drake and Josh, but still a great show. And Zoe 101, I just loved how they were out of school. It felt so nice, and I just loved all the humor in all these shows. It was great. And Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, and iCarly. I was hoping for a big crossover. Honorable mention to Victorious. Great show. I love it. Coming in at number 4 is All That. All That is a great comedy sketch show, and I'm talking about the 90s one. The reboot is okay, but not as good. Not even near as good. The original series lasted for 10 seasons, and it was a great show. I love the comedy. And you could remember so many things from that show, like the big corn on the cob, or the Good Burger sketch that actually got turned into a movie. Speaking of that, we still need to see Good Burger too. But yeah, I just love that show's humor, and I love the comedy and the creativity in it, and it was great. I love the sketches, and the great thing about the sketches is that it was actually pretty funny. A lot of classic Nick shows were actually funny, and I love them. And the 90s are All That. That's what Nick Rewind used to be called, and it deserved that name pretty well because All That was a great show, but not as good as Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, iCarly, or Victorious. I should have put this a little bit lower on the list. Higher on the list, I mean. So, yeah. Coming in at number 3 is Henry Danger and the Thundermans. I grew up with these shows. The Thundermans, I love their comedy, and I love the idea of them being a suburban family just trying to keep their secrets. And they use pretty good superpowers, except for laser eyes. What the heck are laser eyes? And, I just loved the sitcom aspect of it. They were always going on these wacky adventures. You never knew what was going to happen unless you read the plot synopsis on your TV guide. But, a great show. I love seeing them use their superpowers, and I love seeing them finally become part of the Z-Force. Moving on with Henry Danger. Even better than the Thundermans. This is the longest running live-action Nickelodeon sitcom ever, with 128 episodes. It did a great job. I loved it. One of my favorite shows. The finale was kind of a letdown, but such an epic storyline. I loved all the fighting and the jokes. The comedy was amazing. And I loved all the adventures. And it was a great show. Coming in at number 2, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. I love this show's creativity. I love seeing Jimmy's new inventions. Are you gonna finish that Quessel? Ain't no loving my man. Great memes. They're known for their memes today. Should have gotten a season 4 instead of that lame Planet Sheen spinoff. But I love Sheen. Carl is my favorite character. Yes, Carl. Jimmy and Cindy never got back together. They were actually, it seemed like they were going to get together, but the show was canceled. And it was amazing. I have a complete series DVD of it, and I just love the show. I love watching it, especially the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours. Those are awesome. Yeah, like I said, I would have put this way lower if I actually planned this video out. The Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron are two of my favorite Nickelodeon shows ever. Actually, they're some of my favorite Nickelodeon shows Coming at number 1. Bum ba ba bum, bum ba ba bum, bum ba ba bum, bum ba ba bum. We have Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender is an amazing adventure series. I binged watched the whole series. It was an awesome series, and I heard they're doing a live action reboot on Netflix, and it broke Netflix world records, so it deserves it. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the best shows I've ever seen, along with The Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Obviously, Book 3 is the best book, and The Legend of Korra is pretty good, too. And too bad M. Night Shyamalan ruined the franchise with that horrible movie. I would have rather seen a book for a book for air. Yeah, I would have been really good for it. So, yeah, comment down below if you love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!